Alright, so Fright Night 2. I have to say, in some regards, that this movie, in some ways, actually surpasses the little bit the first one after watching it, because I watched it here on YouTube. And I watched Jay Sara's review her review on this before I started. She kind of argued it was just as good. I would argue in some aspects it's a little better. And maybe that's because you have more of a variety of monsters in this movie. Basically what happens in this one is that Charlie, after taking care of Jerry, you know, typical of a lot of 80s movies for their sequels, we have recaps at the start. Charlie winds up moving on with his own life. The girl that he was with in the first movie is no longer there, which in some ways I'm not really complaining about, because her character didn't really, she didn't really do much. She was just sort of a damsel in distress, and I'll get to the girl who I think is much more improved in this movie for Charlie. Charlie's moved on with his life, and he's been seeing a psychiatrist who has been telling him that the vampires were a defense mechanism triggered by the fact that Jerry Dandridge attacked him and was a serial killer and not a vampire. And he's basically cut off all contact with Peter Vincent, and he's, you know, starting out college, got him a girlfriend, he's trying to live life. Peter, on the other hand, wholeheartedly believes that, and a lot of the TV crew that works for him on the Fright Night show has just about had it up to here with his fanaticism over this. And Charlie and he have kind of grown apart in this movie. We have this new vampire that shows up in here named Regine. She's Regine Dandridge, and she happens to be Jerry's sister, who has come back for revenge. And basically what she wants to do is turn Charlie into a vampire to torment him for all eternity, and ruin Peter Vincent's show. And that's pretty much her master plan of revenge, which is pretty good to me. The special effects in this movie are much, much better, and which is my slight complaint, was that the last 35 or 40 minutes of the first movie, you didn't really start seeing a lot of the special effects come into then. We waste no time in getting straight down to the heart of the matter. Regine, or this chick named Julie Carmen plays Regine. I'm not familiar with her in anything else, but I see a lot of tropes of Dracula in this, because at one point Charlie's girlfriend in this movie does read Dracula and actually is able to fight off one of the vampires. They say he's a werewolf, but I think it's just one of the aspects of Dracula that they took, which was that Dracula could turn into a wolf, was that they basically give this one vampire the ability to look like a werewolf. And I think that this story breaks down Dracula, the book itself, a lot more heavier. The fact is that the first movie, it had nods to all of the vampire movies, and particularly the Dracula movies, which came before from the Universal and the Hammer stuff. This one actually seems to contain, to me, a little bit more of the book. We have Regine has a vampire posse. There are like 3 of them that follow her around. There's I just call him Wolf Boy. We have another one who is some dude who I thought was a chick at first, and he roller skates around. He's got like these really long fingernails, and he roller skates towards someone, and then he kills them. And then we have I remember Bosworth is the bug eater in this movie. He's kind of like the Renfield. The guy who was Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation plays him. He's pretty good in this role. But yeah, all of these characters are basically Regine's supernatural posse, and they set out to help her complete her revenge on Charlie. I thought this movie was terrific. I'm actually going to find the get on Amazon and find the tape to this now, because after having watched it, I need to own this thing. It's kind of said that Jerry was the representation of what the sexual nature of a vampire was in the first one. He didn't really do anything for me, but all the women swoon over him. In this movie, they kind of reverse the roles a little bit. Charlie can still fight for himself in some ways, but, you know, he's become sort of the dude in distress, and Julie is the one, you know, making the moves on him. And, like, Regine is, not Julie, but Regine. Regine is totally hot in this movie. Until she turns into the vampire bat thing, and then she doesn't look as good. But, this movie is really well done. A lot of special effects are done in this, and we kind of expanded out into having just more than, like, 2 vampires in the movie. We actually have about 6 or 7 of them throughout this movie. So we have, you know, some bits of sequelitis where we carry back over from the first movie, just slightly, but not too much to where it overwhelms the movie into becoming a carbon copy of the first. Although I like to nitpick things a little bit, and there is one thing that I do have to nitpick with this, which is, I understand Regine's motivations for getting revenge for Charlie killing her brother, but the fact is that at no point in the movie did she explain, or apparently we get the idea that Peter explained, because she just went and straight out told Peter. Peter knows she's a vampire, but she just went out straight and told him that Jerry was a brother and that she's doing this for revenge. But we get no idea that Peter told her this, or Peter told Charlie this, or that she told Charlie, which is kind of disappointing, because, you know, I understand doing the revenge thing, but, you know, I think it would have kind of helped bump it up a little bit if you had actually told him that she was his sister, and that would have kind of made the animosity between them so much more interesting. But unfortunately, that was a slightly missed thing. However, this is still a good movie. A lot of the special effects with the vampires play all throughout this movie. The disintegration scenes are awesome, and everything at the end really wraps itself up quickly. If you find this movie, or you could find it on YouTube and watch it, I do recommend picking it up, because it damn sure is a good follow-up to the first one.